People that use the code, they're clearly communists because communists work together. They follow a hive mind. Yes, queen.
It wasn't particularly funny, and dedicating a whole show with a set and a brand and everything just to reacting to your ex-employee who you fired because you didn't support them or want anything to do with them is weird. Now, guys, I want to touch on one more thing with Candace Owens, where I've been a critic of her and her crazy conspiracy theories and the mistakes she's made in her investigation into Charlie Kirk's death, but I have to defend Candace. I have to stand with her on this one. She is obviously beefing with Ben Shapiro and the guys at the Daily Wire, and that's a big conservative media, digital media company. If you're not familiar with it, she used to work there. They fired her. They have beef. But she just called them out because Candace still has sources and information and contacts inside Daily Wire who leak stuff to her. She just called them out and said, she accused Daily Wire, and I actually believe her. She makes a lot of accusations, but this time she has footage. And so I do believe her, and I do believe it's real. She just accused the Daily Wire of like filming a pilot or coming up with a show idea where the whole point of the show is just reacting to Candace Owens and like making fun of her. So I'll just play some of Candace's clip discussing this, and then she actually shows footage of what looks to be a pilot with a Daily Wire intern or low-level young female staffer, I'm not sure what the background is on her, actually like taping something, and then this was filmed in the editing process and leaked to Candace. And I have to agree with Candace that this is like weird and not cool. And not a great move on the Daily Wire's part. And I think you might agree, even if you don't like Candace, even if you're critical of her, even if you like the Daily Wire, you might agree that this one is a misstep. But let's watch, okay?
Daily Wire has been casting people for a show that's designed specifically to make fun of me. Maddie was then landed upon, and they decided, because we're really going to stick it to Candace, we're going to have her name the show In the No-No. Haha, get it? Candace says we don't know, but we know. Ben's on stage saying that expression is retarded.
Well, it is. I don't know. That is one of Candace's things that she says, we don't know, but we know. And I do think that's ridiculous. You either know something because of facts and evidence, or you don't know and you're just speculating. But this idea that like, well, we don't know it, but we know it because we feel like it's true is like hippie foo-foo nonsense. There's no truth value to that. That's not critical thinking. That's propaganda. Now, is it really like something to dedicate a whole show to? And they actually, the drama here, the lore, the background is that the Daily Wire, from when she worked there, owns a bunch of Candace Owens social media accounts. So on Instagram, on YouTube, all these platforms where they owned it contractually. She had to start new ones, I believe, when she left and went independent. And they have rebooted them and like put up an old trailer of her, and they might be using these old accounts, like resurrecting them to start this new content, just like dogging on her. And I'm sorry, but that's weird. That does come off creepy. It's okay to talk about her and debunk her with facts, but like obsessing over her and designing a whole show after her is weird. And it does come in the context where Daily Wire, their numbers are down, and obviously their hosts are less relevant and get less views than they once did. So the whole thing does come off as kind of creepy and a little bit desperate to me. And especially once you see the trailer, it's like, or it's not a trailer, the leak footage, I think you'll understand that this isn't like serious rebuttals to Candace even that they're planning. Let's watch.
Retarded. And now we're just going to bring this show to life. And the idea is we're going to take Candace clips out of context to make it seem weird. And
okay, Candace, they don't have to take you out of context to make you see them weird. You are a little weird. You say some weird shit. Let's just be real.
And I'm going to show you it. I'm going to show you guys so you can see it.
Idea that the Utah state flag is a hexagonal beehive.
All right, let's try this. Let's really try this, okay? Chronologically. Utah adopts the beehive symbol in 1948. Fast forward 175 years later, people start using bee language as codes.
And I communicate with them by dancing.
People that use the code, they're clearly communists because communists work together. They follow a hive mind. Yes, queen. Underground, communists. Mormons live in Utah. I watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I know what's going on here.
They've always been known as the beehive state. And to be clear, it's not because they make honey. It's not because they have a high presence of bees. In fact, in terms of making honey or bee-related products, they rank number 24. It's actually the beehive state. It relates to the Mormon Church, the Church of Latter-day Saints. Early Mormon pioneers founded that state, and they liked the idea of a beehive working toward a common good. Now, if that sounds vaguely familiar or communist to you, the idea of worker bees, yes, that's where it's from.
Did the Mormons know that the bees were commies in 1948? Did anybody watch that South Park episode? You know what? None of this matters. Let's get to her conclusion.
It's interesting.
So, two things can be true at the same time. And I really do think Candace's whole rant about the bees in Utah and the flag, I do think this stuff is weird and crazy. But this girl didn't add much. She just made fun of it. It wasn't particularly funny. And dedicating a whole show with a set and a brand and everything just to reacting to your ex-employee who you fired because you didn't support them or want anything to do with them is weird. I don't know. It's very strange stuff. And then it also seems like you're trying to ride her coattails a little bit because she is still so popular and you're falling off. I don't know. If you want to debunk Candace, do it with experts refuting her theories about Tyler Robinson, with serious examinations of data, like the people who poked apart her whole narrative about the Egyptian plains and proved that I covered this before, that most of her data was wrong. And then she promised to update it and show us, and notice how that hasn't happened. Anyway, like, do serious rebuttals to her claims. Don't just like make fun of her with like this. I don't know. It really does not hit for me and comes across as strange. What do you guys think, though? Let me know below, and let's listen to the rest of what Candace says.
Interesting. It's a vibe. Anyway, wanted to show you that because the Daily Wire continues to exhibit stalker vibes. This is not normal. I am now telling people that Ben Shapiro is my psycho ex-boyfriend because that's what this feels like. None of this is normal.
I mean, that is a little funny, and that's the thing about Candace. I kind of wish she had just stuck to like celebrity gossip or entertainment news or something where she could be her crazy, funny, entertaining self, but not be involved in matters of life and death. Where then the fact that she says crazy stuff and is detached from reality and believes every conspiracy under the sun becomes problematic when she's accusing people of murder. But if she was just like gossiping about celebrities or something harmless, she would be really entertaining because she is funny and she does have good entertainment delivery. But like I said, the problem is how she uses it. But she is funny, and I can't help but chuckle at this from her. Let's listen to the rest of it. But I kind of agree. I mean, Stalker X is extreme, but it is giving like weird, obsessed with me vibes. If you dedicate a whole show and a whole set in a studio to just reacting to someone else. I don't know, man. That's odd.
Like, none of this is normal. We don't have to pretend this is normal. This is not healthy. And I'm asking you to leave this alone in 2026. Go do a show that's based off of that girl's talent and something that's interesting. And don't just use her like a pawn.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Candace's final point there, which is that they are using this girl like a pawn. And if they want to give that girl an opportunity, Maddie or whatever her name is, to have a show and have a set, try to find something she can offer that isn't just anti another person. Let her develop her own personality and her own message and her own niche if she has the talent to do it. But I actually think, and I understand why as a young person, you would jump on the opportunity to do something like this if you could. I imagine they might pull the plug on this. If they move forward with this after this got leaked and exposed and called out, yikes. That would, I think, be a mistake. But who knows? Maybe they will. This girl, I agree, it's not fair to her. Of course, she's going to jump at the opportunity to make more money, to get in front of the camera, to get a show, to get all this stuff. But it's like it actually probably in the long run would be a bad decision for her to make. And I don't think it would perform well or do particularly well. I just don't. A couple other points. At one point in this, because again, when I react to Candace, I don't just watch her clips on X. I watch her full episodes, then I react to clips. But I do. I watch them on double speed to get through them because that girl rambles, but I do watch them. And she also at one point talked about how the Daily Wire is treating her like should be illegal. And I don't agree with that. They have the right to react to you, to criticize you, to make a show bashing you, that is their free speech. So you can't say any of that should be illegal. And I do find that to be a bit ridiculous, but she's not wrong that it does give obsessed with her in a weird way. And this kind of thing plays well for Candace and her audience and her fans. They should focus on substantively rebutting her or ignore her. I mean, especially because I think they're involved in some kind of litigation and all this stuff. The whole situation is just so messy. But I did want to talk about it to be fair to Candace, to say that, like, I'm not only going to hate on her and never agree with her. I truly am trying to cover this independently and fairly, this ongoing saga with her, the nonstop drama and entertainment. And in this case, I think she has a point. I think it's weird that the Daily Wire is doing this. I do think it gives, like, jilted ex-lover, and the fact that it comes in the context of them declining in relevancy, I mean, all of it plays well for Candace. So I don't think this went the way they thought. I think they've got egg on their face over there at the moment on the Daily Wire and whoever greenlit this. I'd love to hear the conversations behind the scenes about how, yeah, this is going to go great. This totally won't just give Candace more fodder to mock us with. But you guys let me know what you think. Do you disagree with me? Is this show contra Candace something that you'd actually be interested in? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, and all of that.